What's up? What's up? It's time to hang out with all my favorite people on live. How you guys doing today? Once you if you see this, let me know that you're here. They made some big updates with the Facebook groups, so I'm not sure if this is actually going to stream in the groups or not. So give me just a second while I make sure that we are live inside of the group. And it looks like no. So that's okay. We're gonna Let me share this in the group for you guys. Get everybody in here. It's time to party. We've got some automations to build. We've got a lot of stuff that we started working on yesterday that we want to, one second. Okay. All right, got it in the group for all my rock stars in there. All right, so today we are going to continue where we left off yesterday in building out a new automation sequences. This is going to be the upgrades that we are working on for you inside of the Profit Lifter. We're mapping out all sorts of cool tools, all sorts of cool resources for you. So if you see this, give me a hi, give me a shout. Let me know that you're hanging out with me. Let me know that you're here. Like I said, setup's a little bit wonky and might have to actually work through that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and get started because last night, while after I got finished with all this, my brain just started going in super geek mode and started thinking about a lot of really cool things that we can do in here, which is awesome, but it's also that's part of the fun of it. So where we left off yesterday, we're mapping out all the cool things that we can do. So creating just a reminder, everything we're doing in orange is going to be projects that we're working on. These are going to be upgrades that we're going to be implementing inside of your Profit Lifter, inside the Profit Lifter accounts for Go High Level. So these are so we're looking at so we covered traffic yesterday and with your paid ads, organic marketing, automating these systems, making it work. And now we want to hop into what this actually looks like on a lead conversion strategy. We started mapping this out yesterday. Kind of got to the point where we were at client conversion, started doing a brain dump for that. But as I started going through this, I started thinking about some of the stuff that we just kind of take a step back here. When you're when you're doing all this, when you're putting together all these tools and resources, a lot of times it's not just about getting the it's not just about having the tools there, but sometimes part of what we're going to do today is we're also going to be looking at the tools that go inside of the system or that go inside of each of these assets. So like lead magnets, landing pages, funnels, opt-in forms, all that. These are good. You need these, but there's also going to be things like reviews that you're going to need. There's going to be things like different automations, different sequences, different things that are going to be included in this that are going to be very helpful to you while you are advertising and while you are putting this stuff together. So some of the things that I started thinking about last night in my late night ramblings. We're just going to bring this down here. We're going to put this as a lead conversion strategy because that's exactly what this is. Let's get it to line up with our other ones here. So the first thing that we want to think about is we actually want to think about landing pages. Now, this is something that we've never really jumped into in our trainings, and part of the reason is because landing pages have a lot of different features or a lot of different functionalities. So a lot of times people call this, say, hey, I just want a landing page. Like a landing page is something that is supposed to be in action. So your landing page can have a lot of different features with it, like video opt-ins, newsletters, callback, like all these different things that we're building out can all be included on a landing page. A landing page is just a page that you put together to drive specific traffic to. But it got me thinking. There are some incredible uses for landing pages as well as while we're getting into this. So I'm actually going to move this over here because this is actually going to fall a lot into our client strategy as well. So the first thing that we want to think about with our landing page is like building these out. We don't want to just build. Obviously, we're going to have our landing pages that we're going to have for our newsletters, our callback forms, all the different things that we're working on, lead magnets. But we also want to include a sales, just a sales landing page, and this is going to be long form text. And we've all seen them. Those are the landing pages you show up on, and it just looks like this giant wall of text that shows up, that starts going through everything. And if you are joining me, let me know that you can see me. Like I said, there were some big updates that looked like last night on Meta, and I'm not sure that I'm reaching out to many people, or people in the group are seeing me, but that's all right. It's here for you whenever you want it. I'm doing this just as much for me as I am for you. So with these sales landing pages, these are going to be your long form ones. These are going to have some images. Oh, hey, James, there you are. Good to see you today. So these are going to be, there's Will. Hey, Will, how are you today? All right. So these long form sales pages, these are going to be specific to, these are where you're going to want to start targeting like industries, where you could go out and say, like, I want to run something specifically for trucking or for startups or for the demographic of this specific product. But these long form texts, what you're doing is you're going through and you're basically just writing out an entire sales script, including like overcoming objections and all the stuff that goes into it. Building a good landing page with the long form sales process it's really it's hard. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of knowing your product and really being comfortable with it. But this is something that we want to add because this is a good part, and they work. These long sales pages work really well. The reason these long form landing pages work so well is it's not just about the content that you're putting on there. That's a big part of it. But the reason it works is because it gives you the ability to actually complete an entire sales pitch on one page, meaning that like you could start with your primary product, and then from there you start kind of whittling it down, going, okay, if you're not ready for that, here's your first step. If you don't want to take that, here's what you can do. Or you can check out this affiliate link, or you can come here. And so you kind of just bring it all back around, that to include all of your different sales, all of your different items that you can sell. And this works really well if somebody says like, hey, what do? You can send them right to this landing page and go, here's what we do. Here's the big picture. Here's all the stuff that's included with it. So we want that. Now, the other thing that I thought about is up here. We're actually going to start looking at some of the different tools and stuff that we have available. Where's my middle point? Sorry, my designer side is taking off here. All right. Make that one dark green. I like that. All right. So this next one, we're actually going to call this, conversion tools. Now, you notice I didn't put it in line with these because these are going to be these are going to be a little bit of offsets from the stuff that we're working on. And when I'm talking about conversion tools, this is going to look like reviews. That was the word I was looking for. Testimonials / reviews. Now, excuse me, man, guys, my allergies are kicking my butt today. Sorry if I end up coughing on you. Now, one thing to know is inside of your Profit Lifter account, you do have an entire section for reviews that you can automate. You can tie it right into Yext if you want to, but it will automatic if you have like your Google My Business and your Facebook. You can connect these directly, and you can automate this entire review process. And as I start building out this review process, we'll do an entire training on just reviews, where to put them, how to put them, when to ask for them, all that fun stuff. So that way, you know exactly what's happening when people are coming through, and you know how it works. But we want to automate these reviews and testimonials. The other reason that we want to automate them inside of the CRM is this handy dandy little tool right here. It's a widget. Uh, I love the word widget, and you run into it a lot on websites. But with this widget, you can actually embed this on all of your landing pages, on all of your websites, everywhere. Where now people will be able to see all of your testimonials in real time. So, like if you're out there and you're putting together these testimonials, people are going to be able to go on there, leave testimonials, and it's just going to automatically update all of your landing pages, all of your websites. And it's got a lot of functionality inside of here as well that will let you, again, connect with reviews on Google, Facebook, and custom links. So if you're using some of the bigger platforms for reviews, like Trustpilot, something like that, you can actually put that in there as well. Or So Tell Us is another great one for reviews, where people can do video reviews for us. I really like So Tell Us. And then you can set up all your automations there. So this is definitely a tool that has like, I was sitting there, that hit me right at dinner time last night. I was like, we have got to incorporate reviews and testimonials on there. So part of that is we do want to, we're going to make this orange, so team tracking for projects. So this is going to be automate sending and embed on pages. That way we know what we're doing with that. So that's one of the big conversion tools at your fingertips that we definitely need to get integrated in here. Sites, automations, marketing. Let's go through here real quick. The other thing that this was the other thing that we were that I was thinking about is trigger links. Okay, so let me explain what a trigger link is, because when you understand the power of what a trigger link can do, it's really cool. So basically, what a trigger link does is still a hyperlink. You program it in, you tell it what it's going to do. So like if they click it, it's going to go to your website.com/whatever. But the programming inside of that trigger link can trigger an automation, meaning that you can say, if they click this button, that you continue to the next page, but then from there, we can automate what happens to them. So like you can have it tag them if you want to just keep track of who's visiting what pages, or if you're running a promo, something like that. If it's a sales call and they click on it, you can kind of track their most common objections. Some of the things that I've seen with these trigger links that work really, really well is you can set it up so that, like, if it's a part of your like, let's say we're in your sales process and you're emailing out and you're talking about all these different services that you have, you would set up your trigger link so that when they click it, that you could trigger another sequence based off of that. So if you have another, like a sub product or a unique value proposition under your main product that you're out there talking about, you can specifically dig into their needs, because when they're clicking on that link, they are telling you, this is something that I'm interested in. So what this does is it gives you the ability to overcome their objections with automation, which is just wonderful. This is why people sign up online, is when you can overcome somebody's objections for purchasing without having to talk to them. That's how you automate your sales process. That's how you automate enrollments, get people in, get people going, get things set up, and get them taken care of. So trigger links is another one that we need to do, that we want to deeply incorporate. So with this, we're going to figure out. I'm just going to say mapping, because we're going to have to map who goes where, what, and this is going to be based on product interest and engagement. All right. So now we've integrated. So now we're looking at. excuse me, testimonials, reviews, and trigger links. So these testimonials, these are going to be these are going to be what shows up on your landing pages. It's going to be what shows up on your websites. All of that, your trigger links are going to automate your sales process, automate your marketing, help you overcome those objections. And the reason that I wanted to put these different is because these are going to actually incorporate on everything, like except for your traffic. There's no way to have a trigger. Like you can't take a trigger link and put it on Facebook and then have it trigger an automation inside of your account. These have to actually be hosted with your Profit Lifter account. So meaning that it's on your landing page or it's in an email, something where it's directly tied to the CRM and working through that. All right, so so landing pages, testimonials, trigger links. All right, so so we had left off yesterday. We were doing a bit of a brain dump, talking about different ideas. So we've got re-engagement campaigns that were. So let's start thinking about our client conversion process. Actually, let's start over here in between the two. Let's just start a new one here. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this an email sequence, because the other side of this is that we do want to still make sure that we've got all of our email sequences, we've got all of our email automations, we've got everything that is taking place here. And I need more colors in here. Let's go with dark blue. All right. So our email sequences, first thing we're going to have, look at, is going to be your indoctrination sequence, which we're still going to need. I'm going to have to move these over now that I'm looking at this. So we're going to have your indoctrination sequence. From there, again, I'm very quickly moving away from the idea of long-term nurture campaigns, but we are going to set this up as news to dump into a newsletter feed. Keep track of them, and these are going to be we're going to say lead to client email. L2C, lead to client, just so I can keep track of it in my mind. This is going to include an indoctrination sequence. It's going to include newsletters, making sure we've got everything mapped out there. What else do we need? We need live video automation, meaning that we're just going to put live. So meaning that you have something that's going out to people when you're going live, saying, hey, I'm going live, come check me out, come hang out with me, and working through all that. So L2C, email, indoc, newsletter, live videos. What else have we covered here? Here's what else we need. And it's not going to let me create that because it's right there. We're going to do this. All right, next we're gonna add in product campaigns. We had talked about product campaigns before, but essentially what the product campaigns are going to be is going to be very specific to the products that you offer. So that way you can automate it, that if somebody goes to a specific landing page, they go to a specific page on your website, basically anywhere that they go, that you can have campaigns that go out to them. So like let's say you're offering business credit services. They go to a website, they go to one of your web pages about, or a blog post that's how to build business credit. You can start a product campaign right off of that, just saying, hey, because they visited this site, then send an email based off this. So we want the product campaigns in there. And then from there, the next emails are actually all going to be specific to the client conversion process. Again, the difference between lead to client is they have in your conversion strategy is that the lead conversion is getting them to opt in to become a lead. The client conversion strategy is after they've opted in to be able to get them to become a client. So this is going to include your sales process and all the marketing that goes along with it. The reason that I put this in the middle is because this is all stuff that should be happening on top of the sales pitch, on top of basically like when they come in. This is the email campaigns, this is your communication with them. This is how you're going to nurture your database and work with them that way. So let's see, we've got client conversion. We're going to look at this. We're going to go. All right. Let's hop in here and rebuild our client conversion process. So actually, now that I say that, I just thought of something else that we're going to do, and this is probably a better practice. This thought. So next thing we want a re-engage sequence. Your re-engage sequence is pretty simple. It's a pretty simple process. The re-engagement, this is like if somebody has fallen off, if they've stopped engaging with you, they've stopped opening emails, this is to get them active again. This is stuff that's going to be like really high click value that's going to get them to go, ooh, yes, I'm still interested, keep going. And sometimes like some of the strategies that you incorporate with like re-engagement campaigns is that you want them to you want to almost be taking things away. And so this could be a, hey, I'm getting ready to delete your information. You still interested in moving forward? This works really well because again, it's that takeaway. It puts people into a panic mode. All right, so the other thing that we're going to look at, that's going to be appointments. We're going to put that over here. So we've got, let's see, we've got appointment emails. That's going to go over there. Client cancel win back. That's after they're a client. New client order notification. That's new client NDoc. We've got that. Long-term nurture. We're replacing with the newsletter. Payment decline emails. That's part after their client. Post-purchase after a client. Re-engagement campaigns. We have that. Send downloads and confirmation emails. The other thing that you could really be looking at with some of this stuff that I think works in that I've seen that works really well is there's a couple different ways that you can look at lead magnets, and this is something that I would advise over time that you build out. But the first thing would be like if you have these kind of just free giveaways that maybe they help explain the value of what you're doing, but they're not really kind of the cornerstone of your process and your product. From there, I would do just like a quick one email, dump them into my indoctrination sequence, and then kind of hit the door from there. But the other side is you could actually be looking at creating an entire lead magnet sequence. And what I mean by this is that like once somebody downloads your guide, like instead of just sending them a one-off email, say, hey, thanks for downloading our guide, maybe you send a text message, email, voicemail. That's still great. I mean, like definitely do that. But the other side is that this is something that is kind of the cornerstone product. This is like your main kind of how you pitch people. What I would do is actually look at turning that into a longer sequence, maybe a week, where it really dives into it. The other side that I would look at is I would create like video landing pages for this, where you do a lot of edu pitching. Is what I like to call it. You're educating them, but you're also really pitching them. Meaning they download this guide. Let's say it's your EIN guide if you're selling business credit. So you go, hey, you got the EIN guide. Then you create like a 4-step series or a 5-step series, something that's going to be quick and easy to put together. You text them, it gives you a reason to text them, a reason to email them, and a reason to call them. You create videos that just walk them through the guide of saying, hey, here's step one, make sure your business is properly set up. Here's what we cover inside of the guide. Here's some extra tips that you get just for subscribing. And you use that as a way to bring them along in the journey. This is actually called, this is actually referred to as a challenger sale, meaning that the challenger sales process, what it does is it gives somebody the instructions, it gives them the way to do it, and then when they don't do it, they come back to you for the services. I'll tell you a little secret. It's the model we use because I know that a lot of people will get in here, they'll start building, they may try this, and it's going to take hours for them to do what I can do in a couple minutes because I've done it for so long, and it's just how it's what I do. So I know that for me, doing these challenger modes, it provides two different functionalities. One, the people who can do it, they may not be my like maximum profit, my profit maximizers. These aren't the people who are buying everything, spending all the money, running ads, doing growth plans, and all that. But they're the ones who may stay with me for years on end because now they're in this system, now they're using it, but they're self-motivated enough that all they need is a lesser package. And that's what this is for, is it shows people, look, here's what you need to do. If you could do this on your own, go and do it. Part of the reason that you want to do that is because like as they're going through the process, somebody who's going to do it on their own is almost always going to do it on their own, regardless of what you show them until they fail. And so what you're doing is you're creating that pathway for them to actually get out there and try it, to work on it, to take the steps. And then when they don't do it, now you can follow up with them. So that's something to be thinking about is like with this, what does a real lead magnet campaign look like? Yeah, let's change that to campaign, not sequence. So what does a real lead magnet campaign look like? How can you really challenge them, engage them? And again, the other side of it is if you're sending out emails, instead of it just being, hey, act now, buy now, get this, free sale, and it just comes across really spammy. Now you're going, hey, wanted to make sure, did you get through the first chapter? Have you taken the first 3 steps? How are you coming in your progress? And then it opens up the conversation with them of them going, hey, yeah, I'm not doing this, I can't do this, I'm stuck here. And it gives you that opportunity to get in there and sell them your services again, because that's really what it's about. It's about getting them to that point that you're challenging them and then moving them along through the process because they can't do it, or they just realize they don't have the time, or it's more cost efficient to go through you than it is on their own. All right. So let's look at client conversion. We're looking at conversion. So let's hop back over here. We're going to get into conversion tactics here. So what does this look like? Conversion tactics, this is going to be what happens when they opt in. So we're going to automate the follow-up. And that's going to go over here into the indoctrination campaign. Next, we want to have, well, I think I've actually got this in here. So we're going to have the initial touch of the email. I think it just started raining. Yeah, sorry, got distracted there. So it's going to have the initial touch of the email, text, phone, voice drops, and then from there dropping them into your indoctrination campaign. Some of the other sequences that we want to add down here, just for follow-up, this is going to be like an appointment sequence, meaning that if they schedule an appointment, come on, you just told me I spelled it wrong. Appointment, there it is. So basically, once they schedule an appointment, working on it, setting it up or making sure that they show up for it and improving your chances. Then it's going to go to your email, long-term nurture, which we have over there, product campaigns, email text. Okay, this actually brings me to another point. All right, down here under our challenges, holidays, birthdays, live videos, we're gonna rename this. What are we gonna name it? We're gonna rename this promo. And I will tell you this, that I've said it before, and you're going to keep hearing it from me until you do it. Promos are how you convert your list. Had a great call with one of my favorite clients this morning. She was working on a blog and was like thinking through newsletters, all of that. Your newsletters are how you consistently stay in touch with people. Promos are how you build excitement with people, meaning that your newsletter is going to be is essentially the tactics that we're following here. Your email campaigns are static, meaning that like your indoctrination campaign, this is always going to be the same. It's going to be until you get in there, you start tweaking it and working on it, but it's static. You don't have to touch it. No work, nothing to have to worry about with it. Your newsletters are weekly. They're just a broadcast of the content that you've created. So with that, if you, let's say you set up a strategy, you're like, you know what, I'm going to create one YouTube video a week, one blog a week, and I'm going to go live once a week. I'm going to do three things, meaning that you can sit down with ChatGPT one time, come up with all your content for the week. So you sit down, you come up with your three things. Those three things can be exactly what you include in your newsletter. Of, hey, we just released a blog this week, and we have this new YouTube video, and we have and I went live diving deeper on these tactics. Um, I've incorporating those three things into the newsletter is going to drive people to those assets. It's going to get people to engage, get people to watch what you're doing and what's going on with it. So so using that's going to become consistent though. When they always see it, they're always going to get used to it. Promos get people really excited. This can be discounts. This can be like if you're doing challenges. This can be all sorts of different things. But this is where you're going to build excitement with people who have been following you for a while. This is what gets your phone to ring from those thousands of people sitting inside of your database that aren't doing anything. And that's what we're trying to do, is get them to engage with you, build that excitement, build that energy that goes, hey, we've got this awesome event coming up. You need to be here. You need to join us. This is what we're doing. Here's why it's important. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And go here, and then you drive them to your landing pages. Then you start your product interest campaigns. Then you do your voicemails. Then it automates it, sends it into your sales process. You see how it works. Really, all you're doing here is you're creating reasons for people to come back to you. Because if somebody is looking at your emails, if they're consuming your content, they want to engage with you. They want to work with you on some level. Your job now is to figure out, how do we get them in, or how do we put the right offer at the right time at the right price in front of them to get them to take action. So this is so your promos are a very important piece, because everything up to this point I kind of consider base model. Like this is how you should be doing it. This is what you should be doing. And then your promos are what builds that excitement on top of that dumps them back into the rest of your already operating, what's already happening inside of your automations, what's already happening here. So with these promos, what we want to do to automate this for you on our next build is build the system, make it replicatable. I'm going to call it scalable. So we want to build the system, then we want to automate it so that we can scale it and we can keep using it. You can keep using it over and over again. It's not just a one-off thing. We want to make it so that like you can use a promo once and then reuse it. Now, as you get into a promo strategy, I always recommend do it like once you really get things clicking along, you get things moving here. You want to do your promos at least once a month. Or the most once a month is the magic mark. If you do more than once a month, it becomes overwhelming to not only to you and your team, but also your audience, because then it feels like it's just another thing that they're doing. But if it's once a month, it's enough that it's consistent. The other side of it is play it around social cues and social holidays. So 4th of July is coming up in July. So that would be a great time to run let's build your business credit with a bang. Here's some tips for the 4th of July. Here's our special You're an American discount or whatever, like all that stuff. But build it around holidays. Black Friday is a huge one. Like that is the time that if you're ever gonna, if you don't run any other discounts any other time of the year, Black Friday is that time that you do it. The reason is because people are expecting to spend money on Black Friday, and it's close to the end of the year, meaning that once people start getting into Christmas mode, buying signals can start to go down. People stop engaging as much. So following the holiday patterns and holiday trends are a great way to be able to do that. Actually, now that we're talking about all this, I'm gonna watch this. We're just gonna make a. We're going to create something. This is a great training for you guys. The promo scheduling. We'll talk through promo schedules and what that actually looks like, creating calendars and everything for that. Now that I say that, I actually want to build that out in here because that would be awesome. Like pulling up a calendar and having a promo calendar built right inside of your Profit Lifter account that you can look at, that you can come up with a strategy for. That's a moneymaker there. Okay, so the other thing that we want to look at, this is actually going to fall under a conversion tool here. The other thing that this is on my mind of what I want to build for you guys and what I want to focus on building over these next couple weeks, an AI email builder, meaning that once somebody if you need an email, that you can literally just go inside the system, tell it what you're looking for, it'll create the command prompts for you, and take it from there. So that AI email builder is going to be a good one. The next thing that we want to look at, so we've got all this, man, this is just, it's a bit of a jumbled mess here. I'm going to move this down here. Need to create myself some more space. Move you, move you, move you. Oops. Sorry, if I look at this and it's all jumbled, it makes it hard. It makes it hard for me to know where things are going. Okay. Yeah. So did we put webinars over here? Pop-up strategy, lead conversions, website marketing. Nope. So I hope you guys are seeing why these things get so big. This is why marketing is so confusing, is because there are literally thousands of ways to make something work. A lot of times it's a matter of figuring out what's your style, what do you want to do that makes it what's your secret sauce with this. So we're going to turn this to webinars, because this is definitely webinars are one of those tools that works incredibly well for lead conversion and for client conversion, converting people. Okay, let me rephrase that. It doesn't work great. It's okay for a lead generation strategy. It's not my favorite lead conversion tool because webinars require a big time commitment. But where I do like it is people that have like maybe opted in for a guide. So they download a lead magnet but they don't schedule a consultation, they don't move forward. That's where I think webinar marketing really starts to take hold, because now you can grab them, you can engage with them, and you can ask them for more of a commitment. It may be an hour, it may be 2 hours. You may spend a lot of time building out this really in-depth webinar. And these can be evergreen, meaning you don't have to go through and record it over and over again. You build it once, it's available, then you can keep reusing it. The beauty of this is actually something that I'm building on AI for all the Credit Suite partners. Now, don't tell anyone. But those webinars will be, those webinars are a great conversion tool over here. And and they do fall under the promos as well. So that is something that we want. Let me just make sure that we're notating, build the funnels. Okay. So let's hop back over here. We've got our promos, we've got a calendar, we've got discounts, we've got webinars, we've got challenges, birthdays, discounts, add-ons, webinars, all that fun stuff under the promos that is a great way to engage them. Okay, so once we sign up on the sales process, sales follow-up, email immediately. Actually, I'm going to take a step back here. See how much stuff we've written out over this past month so far. Look at this. Sales automation. Where I put our sales process. Email marketing. Yep. We're going to come over here. We're just going to copy this one. We're going to grab it. We're going to throw it back over here. That's not where you go. All right, so sales automations, it's going to go. So now that you've got somebody, now that they've opted in, now that they schedule a consultation, we actually need to include this over here. Oops. Move you over here. We're going to call this the consult. The reason that I want this here is because 9 times out of 10, if you're in a higher ticket sales environment or you have to meet with people, then we want to have the consultation. And this is going to be the consult funnel. And this is already built out, but part of my vision for the consultation funnel is I'm going to build, we're going to build a landing page that after somebody comes through and does a consultation, that the next step in that process is going to be a video landing page. And so that video landing page is really the script of it's going to look like, hey, thanks for scheduling a consultation with me. Here's what to expect. Here's what we're going to talk about. The reason that I love this strategy is because it will let you bypass so much of your sales pitch, so much of your objections, because now when you sit down, you can jump on the phone and go, hey, James, thanks for scheduling a consultation. Hey, did you have a chance to watch that video? Yeah, I did. Cool. What questions do you have? Where would you like to start this conversation? So it helps streamline the communication. It helps to kind of weed out the people who really aren't interested in talking to you, that realize they're not going to get free information. And there's actually a lot of tactics that you can use to sign up somebody after they've scheduled or after they've watched that video. Now, one of the things that you could do is, and this is a smart, if you have the ability to run trials. And so like all you guys who are watching me are your Credit Suite partners for now. So we're going to stick there. We're going to stick there at this time. But what you could do is you can actually set up a trial for somebody of saying, hey, look, if you want to get started, but you have a couple questions, let's start you on a free trial. Now, the trick to this is that you're not going to spend any money on them. You're not going to spend anything on them until you've met with them. So that means you sit down with them, you do a trial, you do a consultation, and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to map out your funding plan. We're going to map out your journey together, work with you to get you set up, kind of go through your first steps. Then after you pay, we're going to get you access to the software platform. We're going to get you in with the advisor team. So what you're doing is you're getting a commitment from them and then moving them along in that process. The time I think this would be helpful is right here in that consultation funnel that takes them to a video landing page that you could set up that trial and have them committed, so that when they talk to you, it's a, hey, your trial expires in a couple days. Let's go ahead and get you everything wrapped up, get you going. Then we'll get you access to the platform and move forward from there. That's just some ideas of what you can do. The tricky thing about that, like as I'm talking about it, my kind of uh, my arguing script in my head just says, with that, if it's a software platform, people are going to want to log into the platform before they commit. But there's some creative ways that you can work around that. The other side is that maybe you give them a free trial to your membership courses. You give them something for free for watching the video, but having this video on there, I think I know it goes a really long way for converting your consultations into higher converting sales, which is what we're doing here. We're working on our client conversion process. So they come through, the schedule the consult, they go into the consultation funnels, they go to the video landing page, they're getting emails, text messages letting them know the consultation's there. Then they go through the sales process. And then from the sales process, we've got, I think I want to take this stuff away for right now. Okay. And we're going to call this one sales follow-up. So this is going to be your initial email that goes out to them that says, hey, here's thanks for meeting with me. Here's what happens. With this, we're actually going to call this sales pipeline. Because again, what we're going to do is we're going to take this sales automation down here, and we're going to tie all this stuff that we built in and all this stuff that we've been talking about, we're going to tie it right back up here. That's why we don't need this for right now. And we're just going to drag this all the way down here to our sales pipeline. That way we've got all of this automations that we're going to build out. So this means that new leads are going to get the initial email from the sales rep. We're going to put it in the power dialer so you can make the outbound calls if it's not a consultation. If it is a consultation, you're going to meet with them, talk with them, notate, add new tags, and then move them through this process as they need to. And so, yeah. I think that's a great way to do that, and it ties it all into the power dialer from there. And yep, that will cover all of that for us, actually. Let's see, is there anything else that we need? So we've got the other thing that we want to look at. So we're gonna have the sales pipeline. The other thing that we want to look at is tying this back into your product campaigns that we had talked about over here as well. Because your product campaigns don't necessarily have to just be for leads or for people that are visiting pages. It could be from a sales pitch. Like you talk to them, they're like, hey, I'm really interested in this product over here, or this is what makes the most sense to me. This is the direction I'm going. Now you can customize it, put those, have those product follow-ups happening over there on that side for you. So we're going to go sales pipeline to product campaigns and take it from there. Trying to think if there's anything else throughout this sales process, because we covered this really in depth. We covered this, spent a whole hour just mapping this out down here. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that for now. But if you guys think of any other cool things that you'd like to see in the sales process, let me know, and we'll take it from there. And then from there, we are going to have the goal. The goal is going to be that they actually buy from us and that they become a client. So this is going to be purchase. And I'm putting this as the first one because that's where it needs to be. And so converting them from a lead to a client means that they order. This is going to include your online sales funnels. Also going to be initial, we're going to call this welcome email. And the other thing is your client retention emails. Client retention emails, I think, are really often overlooked, especially if you start dealing with someone like me or other people that are really big into marketing. You start getting into it, and like we all do great on getting people in, but a lot of times companies will just kind of fall off after somebody comes in because they're like, I got the money, I'm talking to them, I'm emailing them on a daily basis. Having a specific email campaign that's set up for them, that will take them through the process, not take them through the process, but give them those deeper insights that they're not getting if they pay for it, is a great way to add additional value to your services. Your client retention emails are an amazing place to tie in your affiliate links as well. Meaning that from there, now you can start going out, you can start talking to them and going, hey, by the way, need a website? Click your Profit Lifter link and they'll help you with the website, the CRM, and blah, blah, blah. These people are already taking actions. They've already spent money with you. If there's things that they need to be able to fulfill your services, this is going to be your biggest revenue generator with your affiliate links, are the client retention process, and working on it from there. So this is going to cover your online sales funnels, welcome emails, client retention. The other thing that we want to look at, and this is actually going to be a part of the client, we're going to call it client win back. This is going to be if somebody cancels, what happens afterwards? Like, what's the process? How do you win them back? What's the strategy that you're going to implement so that you can keep maximizing your revenue, that you're making all your money off of it? So what's your client win back strategy? If somebody calls and says, I want to cancel right now, what can you do to get them back in, to get them interested, to get them going? And then from here, again, you got your core product sales, wonderful. You've got your profit maximizers here. Trying to think if there's any way that we can automate some. A lot of this is, I don't know if there's ways that we can actually. The live events and workshops, we have that over here under promos that we'll be building out. Core products, product position, these are all monetization. We have that covered over here under the lives. Merchandise, that's actually going to be a store feature, which would fall under your product campaigns, product announcements. Now, that's something I never even really thought about. News / announcements. That's really hard to read. I'm just going to call it announce. News and announcements. These an announcement campaign would be like, let's say you set up a new JV partnership, or you add a product to your existing core product. You add add-ons. You come up with different features, different functionality. That's where having emails that are going out that are talking about those announcements. The other thing is, if there's big news in your industry, share it. Like, the more news that you can share, the more people are going to trust you. So you always want to be thinking about, what can I share? What kind of knowledge can I bring to my database, to my list? How can I market to my list to be able to get them engaged? And then you've got your affiliate strategy with your links, your JV partners. So, all right. So I think this is an amazing starting point for us. This is definitely going to morph and change as we start getting into this, because we still need to look. We've got our product interest campaigns. We got that set up. We got promos. These are ones that we will figure out. These video sales letters, these actually should be a part of your sales process. That's where those are going to fit in for you, is going to be the actual sales process. And then your sales, your social media nurture is going to be there. Re-engagement. The other side is the AI chatbot. This feature is going to plug in everywhere. So like anytime somebody opts in anywhere, anytime a text message starts incoming, outbound, however, that's where that's going to take place. Power dialer is part of the sales process. That's the only time you really need that. We've got your trigger links. We have your AI emails. We've got your testimonials and reviews. Whew, that's a lot of stuff to cover, but a lot of stuff to build up. The good thing is we've been building a lot of this stuff already. But tomorrow we are actually going to jump in and we are going to start actually building out all of this. So what we're going to do tomorrow is I've already got my account set up over here. We're gonna dive in and we're just gonna start. We're gonna clean up what's already here. But I'm also, while we're going through this process, this is something that I've always meant to do, never had the time. So you guys get to join me while I do this. We're going to be mapping out like all of the tags, all of the features, like what happens if you add this tag, what happens if this. So that way, when you're in here working inside of the CRM or you're training new team members, you've got everything mapped out right there for you. It's all included. It's all right there that you can just go through, look at the list, and know that if you do this, this is what happens. If you see this tag, this is what this means. So we're going to be breaking down like all the tags, all the values, just kind of cleaning up what we currently have in place, so that as we start building this new stuff on top of it, that one, it fits with those of you guys who have already started building on your current account, that it will be available to you in the Click and Play app, the Click and Play libraries. But the other side is that we'll be able to document the entire process. That way you can know that, like, just how it works. You can have the entire snapshot of of the entire automations just right in front of you that you can view. So that's all I got for you guys today. I think it's a great stopping point as we start getting into the next one, which is going to be just going to be our build and chat sessions, where I'm just going to be in here building like a madman. You guys can come in and chat with me while I'm doing that. Ask me questions. I'll try to document the process as I'm going through it. But this is a great start. Great point. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me again today. You all are wonderful. You are my favorite people on the internet. Hope you have an amazing day, and we will catch you.